end one day last July.
When you were in the air, did you know it was all wrong?
Yes, I knew I made a mistake.
As the world held its breath, we learned she'd been paralyzed from the neck down. Now, 2020 takes you on an exclusive journey through her world today. You'll be there as she works to make progress on the long road back, and as she meets someone who's been there.
I want to be your long-term friend. Is that possible?
That's absolutely possible.
Connie Chung with the girl we cried for last summer, a 2020 exclusive, the heart of a champion. Those stories tonight. Then she made us cry, a young Chinese gymnast paralyzed from the neck down. Now 2020 takes you on an exclusive journey into her world today, and look who's now by her side. And then 2020 Friday continues. Now, Barbara Walters.
It doesn't happen very often, but last summer there was an incident that touched so many of us to the core. We were moved to tears by the sight of a young gymnast from China lying still on the floor, her body and her dreams shattered after a terrible fall. The girl's name is Sang Lan, and tonight you're going to hear her speak in depth for the first time. She talks openly and touchingly to Connie Chung about the accident and how it has changed her life in a way that will surprise you.
The Olympics. For a gymnast or any athlete, there is no greater promised land. Just ask anyone who stood on that podium with gold around her neck. For these young girls in a dilapidated gym in China, an Olympic medal is the ultimate goal. They are the chosen ones, the young girls the Chinese government has handpicked to be future champions. Among those who bought into that dream was a young girl named Sang Lan. Sang Lan was just in kindergarten when her teacher spotted her potential as a champion. Before she could even read, Sang Lan was being groomed for superstardom at a furious pace.
When I was 6 years old, I was selected to the juvenile gymnast team. Later, I was chosen for the provincial gymnastics team. And then when I was 13 years old, I made the national team. Then I knew I was a good gymnast.
The gymnastics world wasn't just saying that Sang Lan was good. Great was the word most often used to describe her acrobatic grace.
Sang Lan was like poetry. She was lyrical. She was dainty.
Former gymnast Kathy Johnson-Clark was a television commentator for this year's Goodwill Games.
I would say she's certainly among the best in the world, and among the best in the world in vault.
I wanted to be a world champion.
Did you dream of going to the Olympics?
Yes, I really wanted to participate in the Olympics because it's such a big event and it only comes around every 4 years. Yes, it was my dream.
But at the Goodwill Games on July 21st, those dreams were shattered. Competition hadn't even begun yet. Sang Lan was merely warming up when the unthinkable occurred. The agile teenager with the extraordinary body control somehow lost control during a simple routine vault. Sang Lan landed on her head, the impact crushing her vertebrae and leaving her completely paralyzed from the neck down. In that horrifying split second, more than just Sang Lan's promising career would be destroyed. Her life as she knew it was about to radically change forever.
At the time, I was quite afraid. I couldn't feel my arms or legs.
When you were in the air, did you know it was all wrong?
Yes, I knew I made a mistake when I was in the air.
Sang Lan says her mistake may have been too much speed on her approach. For support, she reached to put her hands on the vault, but her shoulders were already too far forward. Instead of completing just one full rotation, her momentum carried her uncontrollably into a second flip, causing her to land with tremendous force on her head.
At the time of impact, it was extremely painful.
A stunned silence fell over the crowd as an entire unit of medics hovered over Sang Lan's lifeless body. Dr. Gunnar Brolinson was among those who threw himself into the race against time to save Sang Lan.
Immediately got her off of the podium onto a stretcher and then quickly transferred her to the waiting EMS unit.
All I could think of was this was somebody's baby. And she was so far away from home, and I just wanted to hold her. And obviously I couldn't go hold her, so I went and I held my son, who my mom and my husband were taking care of. I think I knew immediately how bad it was.
What was going through your mind?
I think I was afraid. Afraid that I wouldn't be able to stand up again.
Sang Lan was rushed to nearby Nassau County Medical Center in critical condition. Do you remember the first question that she asked you when you saw her here in the ER?
Yes, I do. It was actually a very touching moment. She asked me if she was going to return to gymnastics, and I told her that I didn't think so.
Dr. Leone led a team of surgeons in a risky 7-hour operation. Sang Lan's crushed pieces of vertebrae were replaced with 3 small metal plates. But would this once vibrant young athlete respond to surgery or remain paralyzed? Less than 48 hours after surgery, she was moved to Mount Sinai NYU Medical Center, where Dr. Christian Ragnarsson answered that critical question. Will Sang Lan ever walk again?
Sang Lan will not walk again unless we have a major scientific breakthrough. I have to prepare her for a life that is in a wheelchair.
The cruel twist of fate has made Sang Lan cry at night when she's alone, something she refuses to let others see.
When my teammates came to say goodbye, I saw tears in their eyes. I told them not to be sad. I'll be cured one day. And before they left, every one of them gave me a kiss and wished me well.
Did you cry?
I did not cry, because I knew if I cried, everybody would cry. So I didn't cry.
For Sang Lan, there's no time for tears, not with grueling rehabilitation awaiting her.
It was very clear from the beginning that she was ready to work.
And roll back.
And work she has.
Good. Take a break for a second.
She keeps going.
And back. Till she gets it perfect.
At first, Sang Lan could barely shrug her shoulders. But now, after 2 months of rehab, she has greater strength and mobility in her arms and upper body.
1,
Although even the simplest movements are still an ordeal.
3, roll. Reach across. Good.
And basic tasks are now a daily frustration. What was once routine for this world-class athlete
1, 2, 3.
now pushes Sang Lan to the brink of exhaustion.
We'll do that one again. And down. Good. She's used to a rigorous schedule. She's used to working out for 6+ hours a day. So the things that I'm asking her to do probably don't even compare to what she was doing beforehand.
Despite all her hard work, Sang Lan is unable to move from the chest down. She needs to be stretched so that her muscles won't spasm. That happened many times during our interview. She's completely dependent on others, physically and financially. A tragedy that's captured the attention of not just the media, but some big-name celebrities as well. Jackie Chan came to visit. Celine Dion sang to Sang Lan in her hospital room. And Leonardo DiCaprio also stopped by to lend encouragement.
It's so nice to meet you.
But by far the most meaningful visit came from Christopher Reeve, whom Sang Lan saw as a kindred spirit, one of the few who really knows all about the agonizing road that lies ahead.
Do you think there is any hope for us to walk again or stand up after a spinal cord injury?
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. It's only a question of time and money.
I want to be your long-term friend. Is that possible?
That's absolutely possible.
Can you leave your number?
I will leave my address, and I'll leave a number that you can call me whenever you want. And we'll stay in touch.
In Chris Reeve, Sang Lan has found someone who can provide an occasional booster shot of optimism. But she's also discovered a young man who's volunteered to be by her side day in and day out. His name is Winston. It was actually Winston's mother, Gina Liu, who looked after the Chinese gymnastics team while in America. But when Sang Lan's crisis began, It was Winston who stepped forward to become her protector and perhaps her soulmate.
I hope that I could be next to her all the time from now on to the end.
To take care of her.
To take care of her, yes.
Happy birthday to Sang Lan.
The Lius have become Sang Lan's American guardians, sort of like her second family. Winston and Sang Lan had an instant chemistry that left both of them wondering if this friendship was somehow meant to be.
She asked me, do you believe in fate? I said, I never believed in fate before. After this time, I think I'm beginning to believe in fate.
Because you were able to meet.
Yes.
Would you be terribly sad if she went back to China forever?
I think I would go with her.
You'd go with her?
It's like my destiny to take care of her.
Winston may be sure about his destiny, but Sang Lan's future is far from certain. 3 short months ago, she was headed for the cover of a Wheaties box. But in the wink of an eye, she was condemned to life in a wheelchair. Even though fate has been cruel to Sang Lan, she somehow remains hopeful and unwilling to admit, at least for now, that she would like to have that pivotal moment in time back so she could change it.
I realize I may not be able to walk again.
Do you actually accept it?
I've already accepted it. I understand my medical status, but I have faith in myself and hope that I myself will be able to recover.
Sang Lan was discharged from the hospital last Friday. She's now in New York, where she will continue her therapy, and of course we pray that she does get more use, at least of her upper body.
Yeah, we sure do. And we understand also now she's taking classes for English. Gonna learn that. And she says someday she may want to go back to gymnastics as a coach. You can get more information about Sang Lan at our website at abcnews.com. We'll be right back.